Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Lover Pretend, and we're also back with me adjusting myself in my chair and having my tablet go flying off of it. Good lord. Anyway, so, continuing where we left off after getting to Oogle Yukito for a hot minute. Hello. The next day, after arriving at the photography studio, I opened my planner while walking a little ahead of Yukito. It's funny that never got brought. You're like, how am I going to look at him? And then the next day, here we are with each... And are we going to talk about this? Strange. Your job here today will be photos and an interview for the magazine. After makeup, there'll be a briefing before the shoot. They'll finish with the interview. It's about time for your makeup session, so they should be calling us soon. Okay, got it. Oh, about the next job, though. Yukito sidled up close enough to graze my shoulder. Wow. Yukito sidled up close enough to graze my shoulder. Thank you. And I scuttled away. Then I put on a smile. Yes, what about it? Hey, the person I'll be appearing with. As he spoke, Yukito took another step toward me. Yet again, I shuffled just out of reach with a smile. He lifted an eyebrow in curiosity, then frowned and stopped. Hey, Spacey, is it just me or are you avoiding me today? I wonder. I mean, at the end of the day, this is just a scandal countermeasure. A scandal countermeasure? Yes, you tend to get physical with people and it's bound to cause misunderstandings, so I'm taking precautions. We can converse easily enough without you being so close to me. It's perfectly normal. We do not sound perfectly normal while we're saying any of this. Yukito pressed his lips tight in a pout. Let's get going. It's time for your makeup. Just for a moment, I let my guard down. Spacey! What the? It clicked instantly, and I wiggled both arms to escape his sudden embrace. What the heck do you think you're doing? Wow, you've got it bad. While Yukito muttered something to himself, I took 3 steps back, assumed a defensive pose, and glared at him. Close that distance in an instant. This is the point where you pin me against a wall in a hallway, because Look! I've been deprived of that. We got it in Kazuma's route, but, like... Harumi didn't pin me to any... Well, we pinned him to the bed. I guess that sort of counts, but... Hey, Spacey. I know you saw me in a pretty risque position yesterday. But look, that was just for work. If you put up a wall between us so abruptly, well... It's kind of shocking. It's shocking and kind of problematic. Who's putting up walls? Like I said, this is just to ward off scandals. Oh, what? We're at the studio, though. There's no paparazzi here. Plus, isn't the point of you being with me to fend off Kirari? Aren't we supposed to look like we're close and cozy? He only gives me this look. God damn it, stop it. Yukito grinned suggestively as he slithered in close. Yeah. For a moment, I thought he'd swallow me whole. I'm not sure I'd complain about that. I think I might be okay with that. Yeah, I think totally fine. Stop messing around. Huh? I'm being totally serious right now, sweetie. I skittered away for the umpteenth time, but he still seemed as close as ever. I was done for. Or so I thought. Hey, is that you, Spacey? Oh, Yukito. Hi, Kazuma! My best friend popped up at the end of the hall alongside Miss Kayama. My hero! I've never appreciated you more than I do right now, Kazuma. Please don't say that to him, because it's going to give him the wrong idea. Praising my good fortune, I quickly sped over to hide behind Kazuma. Whoa, what's up? Miss Kayama peered at me while Kazuma turned to look, wide-eyed. Having a tough time. Sorry for the commotion. Even while this exchange took place, Yukito closed in with a smirk. Oh man, alright Right when it was getting good, too. The guard dog just had to sniff us out now, huh?
Again with a guard dog shtick. Yukito, are you driving her up a wall again?
You make it sound so awful. I was just practicing my own, unique way of communicating.
The rest of society would call that sexual harassment. Kazuma, I'm so proud of you right now. It's true, though. I mean, yeah, kind of is borderline sexual harassment, but like, you know, it's Yukito, and we're supposed to be kind of romancing him. But I mean, I see what you're going with. Yeah, kind of. I love the looks on both of their faces right now. They're both perfect, and I love them so much.
Well, my boy Kazuma's got some common sense after all.
Your idea of common sense is way off base, dude.
A very tough time, I see. You're not wrong. My shoulders sagged, and I returned Miss Kayama's chuckle with a bitter smile. Are you two here for a job? Yeah, the magazine that's interviewing Sana is a longtime client of ours. We just finished hair and makeup for the actress before him, so... Sana, thank you for waiting. The makeup room is this way. At Miss Kayama's summons, Kazuma looked up from his banter with Yukito. Oh, sure thing. Later, Kazuma. Let's leave it at that for today.
It'd be fine if we just dropped it today.
Yukito breezed past Kazuma and me, since I was still hiding behind him. As he did so, he reached out to me and ruffled my hair. There. Be good while I get my makeup done, okay?
Telling me to be good. I'm not your property, but I'll take it because I'm kind of into it, so what else?
I flinched and shook off his hand, eliciting a snicker from him. After that, he slipped into the makeup room.
Darn it, Yukito!
Always teasing me.
You jerk.
As the words left my lips, I felt blood rush to my cheeks. I clamped my mouth shut with no idea what sort of expression I was making. What? Why are you staring at me? Don't you have some work to do?
Nah, the makeup room here is cramped. I'll stay with you.
Oh, okay.
So, Spacey, what happened? With Yukito, I mean.
Nothing happened. Nothing at all. But, why do you ask? My voice came out timid. Kazuma looked away and scowled.
Well, like, I know Yukito's always been like that. But today it feels like you're not all there either. Usually you just give him the cold shoulder. Today you're almost acting like a legit couple.
A couple? No way!
Can you blame me for thinking that? Now he's calling you by your name and ruffling your hair where you're freaking blushing like mad.
Try as I might, I couldn't excuse away the warmth in my cheeks. It's not what you think. He's doing all this to ward off that model, Kirari, and I was flushed because, it's hot today. He came close to me because I'm his sub-manager now, and he's used to me. I told you over Ring that we're pretending to be a couple, remember? There's nothing else to it. As I rambled on, Kazuma's frown deepened. Oh, don't give me that sad look, sweet. Oh, we're making the little puppy sad. Don't do it. Don't make him sad.
Well, if you say so.
It's fine, really, so don't worry. Like you said, I'm being plenty careful of scandals. I just really hope that, like, they don't pull the same shtick they did in Harumi's route with Kazuma being like, I mean, I don't mind him being a little protective because, again, that's the best friend route. You're supposed to be a little overprotective. Plus, he's the only person he was like our friend and our family. So I understand if they make him a little like, you better not hurt her type of shit. He did that in Harumi's round. I'm fine with that. That doesn't bother me, and it's like, it's kind of sweet, actually. It was the getting kind of a little pushy and aggressive because he was jealous kind of thing that they put in Harumi's route that I was not a fan of because, again, fits the childhood friend trope, doesn't fit the way they made Kazuma, you know? Again, it fits that little spiel at the end that Kazuma gave us that was totally out of character for him, fits that aggressive asshole he was being in Harumi's route, but those two little pieces just don't fit him as a whole. Very bizarre. So, I mean, I just hope if he's going to get a little defensive and all up in Yukito's space about dating me, it's a little more just like the overprotective friend and not
jealous psycho kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's a fine line, and they pushed it, and it wasn't really working. So, again, these are things that, like, I'm going to bitch about in the game and be like, I don't like them. It doesn't fit the character, but I'm just going to take it and throw it away and be like, I'm going to pretend to just not think about those things when I think about Kazuma. I'm not going to let those little things ruin his character for me. Because, like, everybody has asshole moments where you're like, wow, that was a really douchey thing to say or do. We've all done it. I know I've done it plenty of times in my life. But it's not like, oh, God, yeah, that was really stupid. And I said something dumb or whatever, did something stupid, and you grow past it. So I'm just going to take those as, like, we're just going to, whatever. I don't know. He was on drugs when he said that shit. You know what I mean? Like we're just not gonna. We're not gonna, you know, just like the Harumi's dad moment. We're just gonna just ignore that because I'm just gonna call it. You let Tim write those scenes. Would you stop it? First of all, letting Tim type anything was a bad idea, and now you're letting him write scenarios. God, at least proofread what he wrote and realize it doesn't fit with your character. What the shit? God damn it, Tim! Stop it. Gotta be Tim. It's the only thing I can think of. Tim, I was trying to forget that you existed, and then you keep going fucking it all up. Anyway. Great. Tim's gone into ruining our scenarios, and now we gotta deal with Ronald making all the typos. Anyway. Sure, I get that. But let me remind you. Curious, I tilted my head to the side, and Kazuma leaned in to whisper. Think about your dad. Right now, Yukito's father's the most likely candidate, remember? Oh, that is absolutely the best way to cock block me, Kazuma. Huh? Oh god, he's right! We don't know the truth yet, but since you haven't ruled him out, maybe you shouldn't get too close. Maybe you shouldn't be drooling over the man's bare chest, thinking about how you want to lick it when he could be your half-brother! I actually did forget, so thanks a lot for this, Kazuma. Shit, you know it's not. You know he's not our brother at all. That's not what they're gonna do. And if they're gonna do it, if they're gonna commit to making a weird incest route, it's gonna be Asagi's route. Because he's the last one. So. It's okay. I know. Kazuma aside. Kazuma! I need a hand! Yes, ma'am. Be right there. I gotta go. Seriously. Be careful. Only after I watched Kazuma dash into the makeup room did I remember to breathe. He's right. I know he is. It had completely slipped my mind ever since I'd gotten tangled up with Kirari in this sub-manager gig. Yanked back to reality, I thought about what Mr. Hanai and the director had said at camp. If you ask me, I think that producer, Seina's more suspicious. Seina, huh? It's hard to deny that. It's gonna turn into Rico again. I don't know why. Still a possibility. Yukito's father could be my father too. Meaning, Yukito is potentially my half-brother. I let out a heavy breath and closed my eyes. I really wish at this moment they had brought up the, like, CG again of, like, the bare chest one, the last, and then her be like, oh god! And just realize, what were you thinking when that happened, and now remember that he could be your brother. That's kind of fun. I kind of, like, you know, I'm not expecting this game to do anything like that, because we've had plenty of other games where, like, well, okay, you know, I think my only concern is we've had other games where you're like, I know that this character is my brother, that's gross. I'm in love with them anyway. They're not a love interest, me personally. It's the main character's brother, not my brother. I can separate. This is where I will not self-insert and I will be like, I'll still take him. I don't care. He's her brother, not mine. But, like, where that route is in the game, and then it's not a romance route, and then it's like, so Asagi could be our half-brother because his route's the end, and it's like, you can't do his until the end, and, like, it could be a not romance route. And that's kind of fucked up. I hate it. I don't want that! I don't want a non-romance route with him, because then that ruins everything, because I love him, and goddamn, what the shit? But it's possible. So if anyone's going to be our brother, it's going to be him. But I still think we're going to be like, never find out who my dad is type of a thing. Or he's just some random guy and whatever. It would... But if the game is going to do the incest kind of thing, it's going to be Asagi, 100%. We're going to be like all in love with him and then find out he's our half brother and then just be like, oh well, and then go for it anyway. I'm just saying. Because we wouldn't do that right now. The whole point of the game is to find out who our well, pretend lovers with these guys as we're looking for our father. That kind of takes a back seat. But if they're actually going to give us our dad, it's going to be in Asagi's route. So that's where it's questionable. Are you telling me I don't get to date him? Or I'm going to date him, but he's my brother? Or I'm going to date him, but he's actually adopted, so he's not my biological brother. But like that's like, or we just find out who our dad is in that route while we date our teacher. He's an assistant professor, but he's kind of our professor, and the man is 30, I think. So there's like a 10-year age difference here. And like, again, 10-year age difference isn't that big of a deal, except for when you're a college student and he's your professor. It's even a little weird if you're like, I'm going back as an adult, and like, I'm 30 and my professor's only 35. Cool, but they're still your professor. There's still a weird power dynamic there. It's a little awkward, so like, could you imagine if they were like the awkward student-professor dynamic on top of also your half-brother? You know, game, I'm just gonna need you to commit and go for it. Fucking go for it! Woo! Shit, if this game is the game that goes for it, I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do. Anyway, I let out a heavy breath and closed my eyes. Yeah, he might be my big brother. I knew that. I knew it well. And yet, I can't think of him that way. I had seen him as a model. I'd been swayed by his talent. Yeah, his talent, girl. That's what it is. I'm just confused. That's all it is. It must be. After all, how could I do such a thing? There was no way I'd fall in love with someone who might be my brother. It was impossible. Again, I feel like when the game is saying this, it's setting us up for some weird fucking shit later. All I'm saying. Like, how can I fall in love with my brother? Are you foreshadowing? Cause like, I'm alright. I'm just throwing this out there. We know Seina's not our brother, because again, he's the middle route. There's no way. Because what would be the point of the... You know what I mean? The drama in this... The incest shit's gonna go down in Asagi's route, if that's the case. If it was ever gonna pull that, it's gonna pull it in his route. But, like, now you've said this, now you've thrown this out there, and I'm not sure how I feel about this. Like, you better commit to this now? You can't throw a line like this in, like it's some kind of fucked up foreshadowing and then not follow through? But then it's kind of like, I feel, listen, that's some like taboo level shit, right? And like, I can't imagine, I know, like we've played so many games where there's so many different fucked up type characters. They're stabby, they're super stabby, they're like really stabby. There's a lot of stabby, okay? Like characters that straight up try to murder you and shit, and you're like, throw you in cages. But we have yet to go to a game where they're like, well, he's related to, I mean, we've done Cousins, you know, but those were always in period piece dramas where it's like, it's back in ye oldie days where like people married their cousin and it was not a big deal. And you're like, it's still kind of fucked up, but like, I mean, alright, it was back in like ye oldie times and like whatever. This is a modern setting. So like, playing a game, ye oldie times, marrying my cousin, that's a little fucking weird, but like, okay, it's the times, alright. At the time when we played them, now I'd be like, whatever! This has become such a degenerate at this point. Whatever, you can't face me, game. That if we were doing it now and it's like, it's my cousin, I'd be like, I mean, okay, I'd still feel a little weird about that. As much as I bluster him, give me the brother route. Come on. I'm still going to fucking feel weird about it. I'm not saying I'm not going to enjoy it, but it's going to be a little awkward and weird. I'm still going to be like, this is wrong. This is so wrong. But then again, think of all the times they've been like, get in the cage, and you're like, this is so wrong as I'm climbing in the cage. Like, I don't know why I'm enjoying this, but I am, you know? So, like, but like, I'm not sure, like, I don't know. I just feel like the game saying this is kind of like, but now that you've said it and you've opened that door, and even if you're in the boat of, please God, don't make Asagi our love interest and our brother. That's just so fucking wrong. No, don't do it. If the game doesn't do it, you're like, what the shit? Why you were setting me up for this the whole time and you weren't going to do it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to call your bluff, game. Let's see what you do. All right, hike up your tits. Let's go, game. Let's do this. It's not gonna. I'm a little worried it might, though. Oh my God. There was no way I'd fall in love with someone who might be my brother. It was impossible. You know, I said that at one point in reality playing these games. I would never fall in love with a brother character. That's gross. And now I'm like, let's go. Come on. What the shit? See what you did to me, variable barricade. See what you fucking did. No, we didn't date our brother, but, you know. You can't put hot characters in the game that I'm related to and try to pretend it's a secret and be me, because I'm like, I know exactly who this character is and I don't care if he's my dad. I still think he's hot. Like, it's just wrong. The game's just wrong to do that. It's like, we're gonna make this character super fucking hot. And you're like, he's definitely my dad, but you realize that you're not gonna tell me that to the end, but I'm drooling over him the whole entire time. It'd be like Hanai. Right? If this is Hanai my dad, I'm definitely not your dad. Oh, okay. Hanai's probably our fucking dad. You said he's definitely not my dad? Well, like, what if he... Could you imagine? Could you imagine you get to the end and Hanai's like, okay, I just didn't want to tell you that I might actually be your dad. I was just concerned about it. That seems so out of character for him, who's just very, like, caring about people and, like... If he didn't know... then I can understand that, but, like, he definitely knows we're looking for our dad, and he knows who our mom is. So, like, he's gonna be like, oh, actually, there was one time. You know what I mean? And then we went to being like, well, I mean, like, Hanai's hot, sure, and now he's our dad. I still want Hanai to be our dad. He's so fucking weird. There's just this dynamic between he doesn't feel like a father figure. He's like that uncle character, you know? He's like, okay, I'm not that much older than you. Literally only 20 years older than us, so that's definitely a lot of years older than us, but it's like, still funny. Oh my God. A few days after I spoke with Kazuma at the TV station, I'd calmed down somewhat, so I resumed my online research. And it's actually, I kinda do feel like the game could go in that direction. I don't 100% think it will. So, like, I'm not going to be totally surprised when we get to the end and none of them are our brothers. Like, okay. But I do think it's funny that the game has kind of set it up. Like, any one of these guys could be my half-brother, except for Kazuma. And that's the route you do first. And then you find out in the very beginning in the common route that Makino's not your dad. And you're like, okay. So that takes Makino out. But then Yukito and Riku are still in the running to being your siblings. And then you're going to go down Yukito's route and you're like, I can't fall in love with someone who could be my brother? And then he's not your brother and you're like, whoo! And then you go down Riku's route and it's going to be the same thing over again. And you're like, and then you're going to be like, whoo, he's not really my brother. And then you go down Asagi's route and you're like, he's not good. Oh my God, he actually is. And we're romancing him. We have to romance him because I think he's hot. So, like, you can't do that to me, game. You cannot do that. This game cannot do to me what too many other games have done before and dangle a super hot character in front of me and then tell me it's my fucking relative. That's fucking rude. I can't handle that. Anyway. But that would be fucking hilarious. Because you're not expecting that out of this game, are you? Shit. I kind of hope it goes that way. I say that and then I'm going to be like, I'm going to have all sorts of problems with it. Watch. Watch. It's going to call my bluff and be like, you keep talking about the brother route and like, whatever, you're a degenerate. We're going to go down that route. And I'm going to be like, why did I do this to myself? And I'm going to go cry and rock in a corner for an hour.
I searched the web for Yosuke Sena. The articles that popped up largely fell into one of two categories. The first covered his work as a producer. What a track record! He won an Academy Award in the drama category, and another production still holds the all-time record for ratings. So many titles. They're old, but every single one is famous. You know what would be better is if we didn't look like our mom, and we'd be like, I don't look like my mom, so I obviously look like my dad. Then that would help you. But you know damn well we look just like our mom, and Yosuke's gonna look just like Yukito, so it's like, well, I can't tell just based on looks and be like, yeah, definitely not my dad. You know what I mean? Naturally, his work included the show my mother had written, Pretend to Love. Yosuke Sena had a reputation for productions that explored women's minds, especially in the romance genre. And that's why he's a man whore, I guess. It spoke to how highly regarded he had been as a producer. But my eyebrow arched at the other articles that came up. It was just as I'd heard. There were heaps of reports on his scandals involving women. The scandals started with actresses in his productions and even extended to crew. Most of them amounted to hearsay, so it's hard to know what is or isn't true.
If you ask me, I think that producer Sena's more suspicious. I would absolutely love if Hanai turned out to be our dad just because he threw this. He's like, I'm definitely not your dad. I think Sena's suspicious. And then he just like goes out because he doesn't want to admit that he got, or he's going to be like, I got drunk one time and took a girl home. And then, oh, it was your mom. I didn't realize that. I was really shit-faced and she was gone the next morning. You know what I mean? And then your mom's like, it was a one-night stand, but I didn't want to tell you. You know? Because he was so drunk. Did our mother take advantage of Hanai? My God, there's something so wrong with that. I'm here for it. I hope that's the drama that unfolds. Okay, look. It either has to be Hanai was super fucking drunk, and maybe her mom was drunk. They were both drunk. And, like, they had a one-time hookup. Hanai has no fucking idea that it happened. And her mother's like, I'm not going to say anything. Then gets pregnant and is like, yeah, still not going to say anything. And then, because maybe Hanai, like, starts dating someone else and she's like, I don't want to ruin his life. Whatever. Whatever drama. Both got drunk. One night stand. He doesn't even remember. That's why he doesn't think he could be your dad. Because he has no fucking clue. That'd be amazing. Or they're going to go down the Asagi is your half-brother and we're in love with him and we just don't even care about the taboo, fucked up weirdness of sleeping with our half-brother who is also our professor. Because that's all sorts of fucking wrong on top of all sorts of other fucking wrong. It's the whipped cream. It's the cherry on the whipped cream on the all sorts of wrong sundae. And I'm here for it. So we gotta go down one of these routes. I will not accept it if this game does this. I never did find my dad, but it doesn't matter. Kind of bullshit. At the very end of this game. No, we need answers. Or they go down and Makino's actually my dad, and then you're like, oh, the whole time we were in Harumi's route. They can't all be our dad, but it'd be kind of funny. Anyway. Sena, huh? It's hard to deny that. That guy, he can never keep it in his pants. I heard that he even hit on the rookies. Wouldn't surprise me if he laid hands on the writer. I feel like Hanai is like right in that moment. And now I just really want to go with, he's saying that and he's like, because he's a deer in headlights and that's exactly what he did. Oh my God, I don't know if I could think. I love Hanai. I think he's a great character, but I don't know if I could think the same thing about him if we got down to the end and I was like, yeah, that was all deflection because I was the one who did all that. And then you'd be like, but so, the fuck, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell? You know? It'd be one thing if he got drunk, had sex with some girl and was like, I don't know, and I had no clue it was your mom. Like, sure, makes sense, fine. But, like, knew and then deflected like that onto Sena's dad and was like, yeah, I mean, that guy, fucking the writer, yeah, whatever. Meanwhile, he knows it was him. He knows he's your dad? And then he lied to you? Like, shit, Hanai, what the fuck? Oh my God, there's so many fun, weird drama ways they could pull this. They're not going to do any of them, and it's going to be a raging fucking disappointment, but I'm holding out hope that one of these fucked up Sundays is going to come to fruition over here.
His reputation for womanizing had even spread to Director Makino and Mr. Hanai. I didn't really want to imagine Mom with someone like that. So he retired from public life after his affair with the famous actress. As part of his apology, he left the TV station he was affiliated with. Looks like he never touched another program after that. Following the scandal, years passed before Yosuke Seno resurfaced in the public eye. When his son Yukito debuted as a professional model, it caused a commotion in certain circles.
Shocking! Promising young model's father discovered to be a former A-list producer!
I mean, he's got the same last name, so... There were several such articles. Son of the King of Scandals, poised to continue his legacy, and that's exactly why poor Yukito has been, written up like this, and this is why this is his persona, because, oh yeah, we're getting so much press because of your whore dad, so you've got to be one too! And he's like, I hate this. Poor Yukito. It makes you feel sorrier for him. Aww. I know he comes off as the flirty whore, and he's playing up the part. And, maybe he kind of enjoys it. It's this is what he's been doing for, 10 fucking years. You know what I mean? But it's it's kind of sad. Aww. That's why he wants to break out and go into acting, because then he's got to break away, and then he can, whatever himself. Not reimagine. He can rebuild himself. Yeah, what am I talking about? You know the word I'm trying to look for when whatever, but I can't think of the word right now. But, It didn't appear that Yukito had achieved his current popularity by riding on his father's coattails, but there was no shortage of writers who'd mocked him for it early in his career. Feeling nauseous, I closed my laptop. Mr. Sena, huh? I wonder what he's up to now. How much did Yukito know about his father? Were they still in touch? Did he remember anything that could help me? Does he know about my mother, or whether Yukito is a blood-related sister? The thought squeezed my chest in a vice. Nothing was set in stone, and yet I couldn't stop thinking about it. Besides, if Yukito's father is my father, if he was my big brother, I love the fact that we're having this fucking, conundrum right now. I wouldn't be alone anymore. Even if our hearts are far apart, it means I've still got family out there. That thought should have made me happy. I should be excited about the prospect. Not when you... Oh, come on, this would have been the perfect time for that CG to pop up. I closed my eyes and tried to clear my head. Someday, I'll have to ask Yukito personally. If I ever got a chance, that was. I really want you to be close your eyes and then you just see him in that freaking risque position and you're like, oh! That's it. Get horny over your potential brother. Come on, just start us out with little tidbits like this. It'd be great. Build it up a little in Riku's route. You're like, yeah, it's definitely not him either. And then really just slam us into the wall with this shit when it's Asaki. We have played too many messed up games that a nice little fluffy game like this, I'm like, bring me the drama. I tried to convince myself, then headed to the agency office to tackle my sub-manager work for the day. I mean, we only got 2 chapters left, so. Good morning. Yukito showed up at the office with his usual cheer, and I glanced up from a pile of paperwork. Good morning, Yukito. Hey there, what you looking at? Doesn't it also strike? Because you weren't thinking about it, and then Kazuma was you were like, I'm in a pretend relationship, and Kazuma's like, it could be your fucking brother. Do you think even that pretend relationship's a little fucked up? I mean, when we told Kazuma I'm in a fake relationship with Yukito to keep this girl, dude, I think at that point he should have been like, he could be your brother, so isn't that a little fucking weird? Didn't bring it up till weeks later? He could be your brother. Yeah? I know, I'm not falling in love with him. That would be impossible. I'm just pretending to be in a relationship with my potential brother. I'm just saying, there's all sorts of weirdness going on here. I love it. I'm here for it. Hey there. What you looking at? Just you and your naked chest and drooling over you, even though you could be my brother. Documents about today's set. I was looking over the profile of the guest you'll be appearing with. Uh-huh. Now let's see. Yukito swooped in next to my face and casually read over my shoulder. Feels like he's cozying up more than usual. Wait till he licks your ear. That's going to be weird. Feeling the warmth rush to my cheeks, I became overly conscious of him. And the thing is like... Of course, in her head, she's like, no, could be my brother. It's weird. But the fact that, like, you're just reacting to him, I mean, doesn't mean you're into him, but it's like you're reacting to the things that he's doing. You could be like, I hate this person, but he's breathing in my ear and he's hovering over my shoulder and these actions are sexy and, like, I hate this person, but, like, but you know what I mean? Like, your brother leans over your shoulder, you're not like, oh, getting a little spark of whatever. A person you're not attracted to does that. You might be like, oh, well, this scenario is hot. Not this person. But you're still not going to think of the scenario as hot if it's your brother. So even if you think he could potentially be your brother, I kind of feel like... But I mean, again, I guess that's the whole point of, like, the incest routes is, like, you're getting horny for your brother. But I just feel like a normal person would just definitely not. You know what I mean? You'd be like, I feel nothing for you, and it's because we're related, you know? What's wrong, Spacey? Well, you're quite close. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Mind saying it again? I imagine him being like, mind saying it again. As he whispers in your ear. Like, breathing in your ear. Stop it. You definitely heard me, considering we're 2 inches apart. I desperately tried to squirm away, but his face just kept coming closer and closer. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw him smirking in amusement. I said you were too close! Don't be like that. We're supposed to be this close, remember? I knew he was referring to our plan to counter Kirare's advances, but still... Maybe you shouldn't get too close. Kazuma's like, I don't want you to get too close because I know how hot the man is. And I think he's scandalous. So I'm just going to tell you, maybe it could be your brother. Because that's about the only way to keep you away from him. Joke's on you, Kazuma. I might be into that. For all we know, we don't know until we get there, huh? But I know Sano's not our brother, so. Oh. I printed out a packet for you, too, so you can go over it in your own time. I took a stack of papers off the desk and thrust it at Yukito, then went back to work. I couldn't let down my guard for even a second. I had to calm down. Again, you're getting this hot and bothered over someone that you think could be your brother. I think you should know that he's not your brother. Again, though, that's normal people logic, and this is visual novel logic where if they're gonna give us a brother route, we're gonna be like this about our brother, so... and maybe not even in this game, I'm just talking about in any other game, so you're not gonna be turned on by your Actually, yeah, no, okay, never mind. I really should stop using that logic here, because it doesn't fly when it comes to Otome games and potentially romancing your brother. But I know Yukito's not, because they're not going to do that in the middle of the game. What? Did something happen? Not really. My curt reply made him sigh. I wanted to go over the details with you, you know. You can brief me personally. No need. I've already marked the relevant sections, so they're easy to understand. Feel free to ask if you have any questions. Wow, the Ice Queen's back. Where'd the cute Spacey go? I know, I love this face of his, just this little, like, kind of sexy, angry face. I'm here for it. Just when you'd finally started to notice my feelings. I was shaken by his words, but I maintained a cool facade. Ooh, the thunder's coming. Hopefully the power doesn't go out. That isn't gonna happen. Come on, don't say that. You'll hurt my feelings. Or like this, the angry. I like the pouty faces of his, and I kind of like his angry faces. I like when he's faced like this, even when he's side-eyeing you or giving you a wink or a little smirk. I like that. Like this, like 3/4 profile, usually the expressions on it, like this particular one, are the best. You two are as friendly as ever. Yukito's manager sighed heavily and plopped down in the chair in front of me. Oh, could you tell? can't hide our special relationship after all. Right, Spacey?
And then it's like this more front-facing one kind of makes him look like a Muppet. I'm not saying he's not a cute Muppet, but I'm just saying I like the other, like, three-quarter profile sprite better. Please stop phrasing things so people get the wrong idea.
Hey, no need to be so shy,
More importantly, are you still getting acting offers? I changed the subject and the manager gave me a tired smile. The dark circles around his eyes made him look like a panda. It feels a little wrong. More or less. Feels like I'm putting out a new fire right after that. Oh. Feels like I'm putting out a new fire right after that one, though. A new fire? Yep. We decided to reject most of the offers we're getting. We found a way to do it without offending anyone. You did? Yeah, we're using Yukito's audition for Makino's new film as an excuse. Oh. We can't accept any offers while we're still waiting on the results of the audition. We're saying the outcome will determine whether or not he becomes an actor. No one can argue with that. See, this is where they're getting at it. And like, oh, the outcome will determine whether or not he becomes an actor, because he's not going to get the part, so then he's not going to become an actor, and then we don't have to worry about it. That is exactly what I said, in the last part, I think? With the whole, or was it the one before? I don't even remember. The days all merged together. The hours are merging together. But like, with the whole concept of, oh, well, why would they let him go do this if they didn't want him to be an actor? But it's like, oh yeah, just let him go. He's never going to get it, but at least it'll appease him, and then he'll shut up about it. Like, they didn't think he was going to get the part. They didn't think he had a fucking chance in hell, so they let him go do it so that he would get rejected, and then see, you're not meant to be an actor anyway, and he would get it out of his system. That is so fucking douchey. That's horrible. But it fits very well into the narrative for him. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to be an actor, and like, or he just wants people to take him seriously. He's very diligent about his work, but they've decided because of his father, you know, oh, you're going to be this cool playboy, and yeah, because the expectation was he's going to be just like his dad, so they played into that, and there's this image they created, and him going to be an actor would ruin that image, and, yeah, you know, Yukito's like, I don't want to be this image anymore, though. Yeah, I can play this image, and I'm totally doing it, and he keeps acting about it, and he's never opened up, but I have a feeling that if he opened up and straight up, he'd be like, because he said, you know, this is the image they created for me, and I'm good at it. Like, I do it, you know? But I feel like if we really broke down and opened up, he'd be like, I hate doing this. This is not what I want to do. I want people to take me seriously and see the real me, and I don't want to just be some playboy stereotype for them. You know what I mean? But he's just going to grin and bear it instead. So when he gets the offer from Makino's new film, it's really going to blow up in his agency's face. And you know what? Good! Because Yukito deserves better. Like, damn game. Making me get on my soapbox? Anyway. Fair point. Yeah, look at it. Oh, love his little sus face. When it comes to the audition, the manager sank limply into his chair as if something were physically crushing him. He's been sighing like that more and more every day. I hope he's okay. Hey, Ueda. Yes? Have you heard anything from Mr. Asagi? Has he said anything about production or casting? Any info at all would help. I frantically waved away the manager's imploring look. I'm, the lowest rung on the ladder, you know? Yeah, I know. Sorry. What's gonna happen? If he gets cast in the film, then... If there's anything I'm allowed to pass along, I'll let you know right away. Yeah, okay, thanks. I like how he's like, if he gets cast, oh! We're telling them we're waiting on Makino's film, because if Makino says that he wants him, then he's totally going to be an actor, but we know he's not going to get it. But he's stressing out, like, what if he gets the part and it ruins everything? He's going to get the part. That's what we're doing. Damage control. Look at us, getting him the part. I mean, he got the part based on his acting talent, according, you know, for Asagi and Makino, the people that matter. But the other people, like are like, we don't know about him. You don't get a choice.
But see, it's people like that that do get a choice, and sometimes you watch movies and you're like, the fuck did they cast this they suck at this. Well, because, like, they were friends and somebody wanted them, and it's like, no, you should be casting based on actual talent, the person who's right for the role, but that's not how it works. Sometimes. But a lot of times what happens is nepotism, or the fact that, like, this person's really hot right now, we have to put them in our film. But they can't act. Or they can't pull off this role. Maybe they can act inside of this tiny little paper bag, but they can't act outside of it. Don't put them outside. Let them stay in their paper bag. Because there are some people that are good at acting in a small sphere. Little things. You're like, they're good in this role, but you put them in something that they're not good in. You know, someone who's really good in dramatics might not work in comedy. Someone who's really good in comedy might not work in dramatic roles. Some people are really fucking good no matter what they do, and you're like, what the shit, you know? But just because this person's popular doesn't mean you should put them in a role that doesn't suit them just for their name. But that's exactly what happens, and that's why certain movies suck balls. You know? But Makino's over here like, no, he can do it. And the other people are like, well, but we think he'd be bad for it. No, you're going to then pick someone who you like better, who's not going to fit the role as well, and the movie is not going to be the masterpiece that Makino wants it to be. You know? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. And that's why we're going to do everything we can to make sure Yukito gets the role and make sure the right person gets cast and the movie becomes the masterpiece it should be. Good for us. Relief washed over me at having dodged the bullet. Yukito had silently been watching me parry the manager's questions. I narrowed my eyes at him and lowered my voice. Hey, don't just watch, back me up here! Huh? Oh, for crying out loud. While I shot a sidelong glare at Yukito, his manager sighed again and wearily rose from his seat.
Well, all he thinks to you. Shouldn't you be going right about now?
Oh, yes, we should head out.
All right, let's go. You look really pale, bud. Why don't you take a nap after we leave?
Maybe if there's time. Look, don't worry about me. Just focus on the work in front of you.
Yes, sir.
We're off then. See you later.
Have a safe drive.
The exhausted manager saw us off as we left for the work venue. I feel like the man should have a name at this point. Like, before, the manager guy was fine because he was just dropping us off at a restaurant. But, like, now that we're working together, he should have more than manager. Like, did he at least be Mr. Manager? We just say manager. Right, Mr. Manager. Look, there's always an Arrested Develop reference in something. So, it's money in the banana stand. While I reread the documents, I glanced at Yukito to gauge how he was doing. He was teasing me less than he usually did. Maybe it was because I'd returned to my old attitude. Good. As long as it stays this way, he looks deep in contemplation. I sighed in relief and looked up. We're shooting at an amusement park today, right? Won't the crowds make the shoot more difficult?
Yeah, we'll be fine. And they reserve an entire area for it. There'll probably be a bunch of rubberneckers, though.
Yukito laughed and looked out the window. With a faint smile, he watched the scenery pass by. It is like pouring out a storm. I'd seen his smile on his profile so many times before. Everything's the same, and yet something was different.
We've decided to reject most of the offers we're getting.
Because he wants to be an actor. Is it because of that conversation? Or am I reading too much into it? I feel like it's a little bit of that and then you returning to the Ice Queen behavior, because I do think he's kind of like enjoying like getting a little closer to you, but also like wants to be an actor and like everything's kind of going against him today. I pondered my next words for a moment. Hey, Yukito? You pondered that? Just kidding. It's too bad about the acting offers. You got so many, too. I timidly broached the subject, and his smile widened even as he stared out the window.
It's an agency decision, so that's that. And they've spent a lot of time constructing my persona, and I'm their biggest earner.
That may be true, but that doesn't mean they can do this that doesn't mean they can do this to you. My hands curled into fists on my lap. Indignation flared in my chest. See, but I feel the same way. I get it. I understand the business logic behind it, but what about how you feel? Don't you want to be an actor, Yukito? Yukito stared wide-eyed at my sudden outburst. Yeah, maybe. This isn't a joke. I'm being serious. I know. Hey, Miss Spacey. Yes? In our industry, work comes when people want you, and it dries up when they don't. And that's the simple world we live in. I understand that. And that's why I'm not invited to educational programs or political news shows, and they don't need me. Sure, that might be true for those specific types of shows, but what about movies and dramas? I'm sure Yukito's acting would be in high demand. I know that better than almost anyone. I was certain that anybody who saw him act would feel the same. I frowned and bit my lip. Yukito went back to staring off into the distance with that small smile of his. Are you disappointed? Yes. I see. Okay, I get it. I'm thrilled you want to appreciate my handsome face on the big screen. Hey, when did I say that? Oh, you don't have to hide it. I'm not hiding anything. He's going to be like, I saw the way you were looking at me when I was shirtless. I winked at you, remember?
Oh, I remember.
All right, now let me pose you a question, since you feel so strongly about it, Spacey. Okay. I cocked a brow in confusion while Yukito pressed on. Here it is. Right now we've got a web of business interests in front of us, like my public image or the agency's direction. But there's actually a magic spell that can wash all those grown-up problems away. What do you think that is? Yukito watched me with interest. As ever, I had no idea what was going on in his head. Swallowing hard, I ventured, oh, when did we cross into Chapter 6? Did we just cross into Chapter 6 and I totally wasn't paying attention and missed it? I think I totally missed it. Like, now vaguely I'm like, oh, I remember the transition scene, but I was like, okay. Okay. Become more popular. If, in the future, many more people want to see you act, if you become so popular that the people in charge can't ignore it, then there'll be a huge demand for your acting talents, and your agency will have to support you. Yukito grinned broadly at my answer. That's a great answer. I'm sure it's easier said than done, but that's the most direct path to the top. In fact, it's a shortcut. Shortcut, huh? But it hasn't happened yet. Right now, you might be the only one who wants to see me act. Oh, come on. If only you weren't this cocky. I shot him a meaningful glare, but it had no effect. I notice you're not disagreeing with me. No, I'm not. So in exchange, please don't let me down. Okay, you can count on me. So, Miss Manager. Huh? What? He peered into my face and I shrank away. He paid it no mind as he drew even closer. Hey, what are you doing? You're like, I can only back up so far. There's a door. And just relax. I want to borrow your ear. As he said that, he cupped his hand around my ear. His lips closed in. And then... Does sound good. What was the ... Me? Yeah, as a favor to me. I looked at him curiously, and Yukito smiled. What did he say? I have no idea. She knows. I don't know. Those 3 dashed lines. Reluctantly, as if drawn in by his charming smile, I nodded along with his favor. Oh my god, what kind of a favor? What kind of a favor? Is it a really inappropriate one that you shouldn't be agreeing to when you think in your head he could be your brother? But you're just gonna go for it anyway in the off chance he's not? Is it inappropriate? I bet it's not. That would be fun. You'd be like, you went along with this favor when you were thinking he was your brother. I mean, it's right up there with pretending to date a man who could potentially be our brother, but I feel like we kind of forgot about that. And then Cosmo, yeah, I remember! Totally forgot when I saw him shirtless and I wanted to lick him. Today's photo shoot was for a special issue of a woman's magazine. The subject was, straight up, an amusement park date. I've never seen this many models in a single photo shoot. There are people of all genders. them, Yukito had the spotlight. Cameras followed him wherever he went. And cameras weren't the only thing lavishing him with attention. Ah! Yukito, look at me! Me too!
He's so cool! Thanks, ladies. I appreciate all your support for today.
He topped it off with a wink.
Ah! Ah, my ears. And your ears too. You're welcome. Actually screaming in the background.
The other staff members and I struggled to hold back the throngs of screeching, eye-wateringly loud fans. We're sorry, but we can't allow anyone past this point. It would disrupt the photo shoot. It's no use. They'll run me over as soon as I let my guard down. Just as the tide of the battle was turning against us.
I love your energy. Women with spirit really are the best.
Ah!
Damn it! That fired them up even more! I wish she'd stop pouring fuel on the fire. I glared at Yukito so hard I hoped it would curse him, but he ignored me. He was too busy flashing his brilliant top model smile and waving to the crowd. Actually amazing. We were getting close. Yeah. Well, we got a few minutes, sure. Later on, I took a short break before it was time to prep for the next shoot. Finally catch my breath. Or so I thought. Hey, you know that hot honeyed orange juice they used as a prop earlier? It was so tasty.
Oh, that. I guess it has been showing up on set a lot lately.
Apparently, it's a limited time item being sold in stores. Oh yeah, Yukito, Lola, let's go get some after the shoot. Hey, I wanted to go on a theme park date with him today. Yukito, let's do it.
What to do? A theme park date with me involves a whole lot of screaming. I think you can keep up.
You know what's really weird? I know we're pretending to be your girlfriend for Kyodari's sake, but like, if you were flirting with other models and going out on theme park dates with them, okay, right? Don't you think Kyodari's gonna get wind of that and be like, so you're going out on theme park dates with other girls, not your girlfriend, while she's standing right there? And like, she already doesn't believe our bullshit. So that's just gonna send her bullshit radar way off and be like, you are so full of shit, because there's no way a man would do that. No way a woman would be like, yeah, sure, you can go out and date these other girls. Fuck no! You're not helping the cause here, buddy. Anyway, it involves a lot of screaming. Oh, that's a theme park date. God, I can imagine a private date with you involves a lot of screaming. Never mind. Oh my god. What's that supposed to mean? Blech. Like how our response was, bleh. I ignored their chit-chat and swiped through the photos I'd taken on my phone. Good, they look like they could have been taken on his off time. Why was I doing this anyway? He said it was part of my job as a manager, but is that really true? As I looked at his smile on the phone screen, I thought back to his words in the taxi. Are you going to tell us?
Why don't you take my pictures? Does sound good.
Huh?
Me? Yeah, as a favor to me. I have permission from the agency to upload pics to Ministra? Do you know that?
Ministra. Oh, Minista. Mininsta. It's Minista. Oh, Minista. Minista. Look, I'm like thinking it's some kind. It's basically Instagram, but it's Minista. Why can't my brain wrap around this word? Ministagram. But it's like it's not Insta, but it's Ministagram, but it's like, but you think it's supposed to be like, it'd be like M-I, but it should be I-N, but it's N-I-N, like, oh my god, it's so fucking wrong, and so your brain can't fucking process it, because you're thinking like Insta, but it's not Mininsta, it's Minista. It's like, but you want to put an N in there thinking Instagram, you know? Oh my god. The nickname for Ministagram. That's so wrong. Doesn't work. A social media app where users post photos and videos. Fashion icons are among its users. Oh my god. Oh, I did. Back at camp, we reviewed the candidate's social media. I've also checked your account since becoming your sub-manager. There are a lot of pictures of things you like, coffee, accessories, and so on.
Yeah, I take and upload pics of things I'm into. It's gotten me 700,000 followers so far.
700,000? I'm not too familiar with social media, and I didn't pay attention to the numbers, but wow, that's a lot of people.
And this is just an idea I had, but... Spacey, I was thinking that you could take pictures of me and upload them. So, this sounds interesting, right?
That was the favor he'd asked of me. Well, obviously one that we could do while maybe imagining that we're his sister. I'm taking them, but I don't know if they're any good. Am I taking them in a way that would go viral with young people? Do I have any settings that would enhance them? I mean, this is literally me right now. Am I taking them in a way that would go viral with the young people? What are you, 100? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, like, you're old before your time, girl. I frowned as I tapped away. Now we're gonna be overtime, but like, whatever.
Spacey, how's photographer duty going?
Well, I'm not really sure, to be honest. Are these photos something your fans would like?
No, and this is the time to show me your skills, right? I'm counting on you for that glow-up. You make the cutest faces. Well, as a special freebie.
Uh-huh.
I'll let you take one, okay?
I turned my phone camera on Yukito, who was giving me a meaningful smile. What's so special about it?
Just hold still. And this is your only chance, for real. A special photo just for you.
What are you doing? You're a little too close.
I'm trying to get close, honey, so just keep quiet for a bit. And don't let this photo op go to waste.
But this is... Wait, what? Crap, I pushed the wrong button! Still, I couldn't let this chance escape. I hugged my phone to my chest and hurriedly backed away. You think you're doing?
Like I said, you get a special photo. So, was it good?
I don't know, stay away from me!
Oh, I really put my heart into that one. Hey, Miss Spacey, you're a little red. And did that make you nervous?
No!
You don't have to hide it.
I can't believe this guy, who might be your brother. You might want to tell him. Maybe you should bring that up so he stops flirting with you so much. I'm just throwing it out there. I fired off another sharp glare. I want to see the picture. Are we going to get it like is it like CG? Yukito, where'd you go?
Who's she? Not a model, right? Oh, she's my very own precious Miss Manager. She was helping me out on a fun project.
And the funniest part is he mentions not to these girls that I'm his pretend girlfriend. That's only for Kirari. But again, in the same industry, it's gonna get back to her. I'm just saying, you're not really committing to the bit.
Huh? What's that? You'll find out tonight. My Minsta's gonna blow up, so check it out later.
Minista? Whatever. My Insta! Whatever! I cannot! It just does not roll off your brain properly! Like, that is bad company marketing by creating a company name that's physically fucking impossible to say. Just don't do it. The two models donned bemused looks, and Yukito seemed to be especially enjoying himself. He's such a handful. I didn't understand a single thing going through his head. Attempting to ignore my burning cheeks, I looked away sullenly. Oh, anyway, perfect timing. So we will stop here, and we will continue next time. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.